some people that got stranded on an island, and I think it was 6 or 7 were Asians, and there was 1 American. And as soon as they got stranded on the island, they had to divvy up the jobs. And 1 Asian was given the job of fishing. The other one was hunting. One of them got a job of gathering firewood, you know. So they all had jobs, and the American was assigned the job of eating. And so at the end of the day, they would all gather around and prepare this feast, and the American would sit there and eat it. And he wouldn't eat it all. He'd leave just enough crumbs so he can give it to the 6 Asians so they can go on and repeat it again tomorrow. Spend all day preparing a meal for the American to eat. And now the way modern economists would look at it, they would say, well, this American is vital to the whole island economy. Without him, nobody would have to fish, nobody would have to hunt, nobody would have to gather firewood. I mean, he's creating all this employment on the island. But the reality is, every Asian on an island, his lot in life would be dramatically improved if they kicked the American off the island. Because now they'd have a lot more to eat. Or maybe they wouldn't have to spend all day hunting and fishing, and they can, you know, they can lie on the beach a little bit.
Resolve this financial crisis.
So I propose that the federal government reduce the risk posed by these troubled assets and supply urgently needed money so banks and other financial institutions can avoid collapse and resume lending.
Here we
Investors unloaded stocks in a frenzy on Monday. It came on the heels of another interest rate cut in the U.S.
More than 500,000 Americans lost their jobs in November.
Congressman, this is getting out of control. What we're doing today is going to make things much worse.
With the beauty of this country and all the things we got to vote for, you don't have to tell me about Bush. When I see him on TV, I say to my grandchildren, if he was alive, he'd be a sick man.
And repeat it again tomorrow.
And that didn't make it. Is when Kobe Bryant got in that mess. You remember? They accused Kobe Bryant of raping a white woman, and he went home and bought his wife a $4 million diamond ring. Let me tell you something. If a white woman accused me of raping her, and I go and give my wife a $4 million diamond ring, she'll go get 2 more white women. She got enough sense to know wherever that ring came from, there was a matching necklace and bracelet. The white dude from Walmart, for my cousin, this past Christmas, they had prices so low, he didn't have to shoplift.
Made in the USA. What does it really cost? Well, if the U.S. federal government applied its own truth in labeling laws to the price of goods and services produced in this country, we'd quickly see 30% of the retail price goes to federal taxes. Another 10% is what it cost American businesses to comply with federal regulations. For some businesses, it's even more. Add it up. About 40% of every dollar you spend is directly attributed to federal corporation taxes and or federal income taxes. And this doesn't include the approximate 8% for state taxes and up to an additional 10% for excise taxes.
And I'll be honest, the black brother from Wells Fargo, head of the mortgages, I pulled him over and said, I need to talk to you. He said, Brother Greg, you need a mortgage. I said, no, they took my house when times was good.
Now take a $400,000 new home. Eliminate the federal government share, and that same home would cost you $240,000.
And repeat it again tomorrow.
Eliminate federal taxes, and you'd have more money in your pocket. Now let's look at what they take from your paycheck. Eliminate the federal income taxes, Social Security, and Medicare deductions, and a $52,000 wage earner's net pay would jump from $1,500 to $1,986.50. Add it up. Nearly 25% of what you earn goes directly to the federal government, and 40% of what you spend goes directly to the federal government. That's 65% in hidden costs. What do you get in return?
Look, I don't want to be coy about this. We're a couple of weeks from an important election. Americans have a big choice to make, and if anybody feels like they don't know me by now, let me try to give you some answers. Who is Barack Obama? Contrary to the rumors that you've heard, I was not born in a manger. I was actually born on Kripton and sent here by my father, Jor-El, to save the planet Earth.
Could the government operate without federal income taxes?
Yes. Prior to 1913, there was no federal income tax.
Don't we need the federal agencies that federal taxes support?
No. Agencies supported by federal taxes, such as the FDA, ATF, and the IRS, are regulatory agencies. Not only are these federal agencies unconstitutional, they are illegal. The free market would regulate itself better, with greater efficiency. Americans would be richer and freer. And the cost of these agencies have grown out of control. The Bureau of Economic Analysis Statistics for 2005 reported the average salary for the 1.8 million federal civilian workers is $106,579. The average salary in the U.S. private sector is $53,289, less than half.
Giving our responsibility and our conscious energy away as money. We surely don't want to admit that our dependency on money is flawed, because that would imply that the fault is our own, and God forbid we take responsibility for our lives. So we blame the money.
This is the cornerstone of the entire illusion being built around us by the false ego. Money is said to be the root of all evil, yet it cannot be evil because money is only a symbol. Symbols carry only the faith and spirit of the observer. This means that the symbol of paper money evokes and surfaces the evil intentions and inherent flaw of our false ego. Money only exists because we agree to accept it as valuable. And to further illustrate our incapacity for freedom, we've given the control of our faith-based money to a private corporation instead of the federal government. There is no law stating that we have to use Federal Reserve notes as currency. We choose to because we fear the alternative: independence.